Morning, lovely Monday morning here in Dublin. We're going to do a deep dive into the final fault, and we're doing Sounds of the 70's, and we're on the very last part of 1970. So this is 1970 part 5. Start with Status Quo, Matt Kelly's Greasy Spoon. Now this is one of my favourite Status Quo albums, and they're not quite gone down the full boogie road, but they're getting there, and this is really great. And what a brilliant album cover that is. Yeah, great album. And if you only know Status Quo's hits, I would definitely check that one out. Now, Stephen Stills' debut solo album. Now, I've talked about this before, and I can't praise it enough. Hendrix plays on it, and Clapton plays on it. There is supposedly a complete album by Stephen Stills and Hendrix in the falls, and Hendrix estate will not allow it to be released, but that would be lovely to hear. But in the meantime, this is a great album, not as pastoral as Crosby, Stills and Nash, and plenty more guitar playing on it, but great album. Sometimes a band stumbles on their second album, but that wasn't the case with the Stooges and Funhouse. This is one of the best albums ever recorded, in my humble opinion. You've got TVI, you've got Loose, Down on the Street, 1970. It's just a brilliant album, and as great as Iggy is, I always think this is Ron Ashton's album. His riffs are unbelievable on this album. Before Rod Stewart turned into everyone's favourite grandmother, he made albums for Mercury, and Gasoline Alley is one of those albums. Now, this is probably the mellowest out of that set of albums, but I really love this album. It's all over now. The Bobby Womack cover and Gasoline Alley, and My Way Given. All lovely, lovely, and it's a very melodic album, but it's a lovely album, and Rod is in fine voice. This was supposed to be a Steve Winwood solo album, but ended up as a Traffic album. John Barleycorn Must Die, and it's a really lovely album. If you like Traffic, this is a really decent place to start, and it's kind of nods back to English folk music while still retaining Traffic's kind of pastoral psychedelic sound. Good album, that. Debut album by a great band, Uriah Heep. Very heavy, very humble. The main track of this for me is Gypsy. I discovered it on Rock Anthems, which was an album I bought on KTEL, one of the first albums I bought with my own money. So even though Uriah Heep went on to write more better known songs, that one always has a place in my heart. I liked it so much, in fact I bought the American copy, which is just got Uriah Heep with an alternative cover. We now have Voices of East Harlem. I've did reels about this before, or spoken about it before. This is like a community project in Harlem with young people across the age range into a choir, and it's at the height of civil rights, so lyrically it's along those lines, but it's a really, really good album. Deep Purple were one of my favourite bands, and the original lineup one, Nick Semper got fired. He formed Warhorse. They made another album as well after this, but as you can imagine, this is quite influenced by Deep Purple's earlier sound, although it doesn't have the same strength of songwriting. It's a really good early 70s rock album. Another debut album, 1970. It seems to be a year of debuts. Wishbone Ash. Now, they've went on to make more influential albums, which I'll be talking about in later reels. But the twin guitar thing, it might not be considered heavy compared to where twin guitars have gone in the years, but at the time it was revolutionary to have two lead guitar players, and this is a big influence on Tin Lizzy. And as you know, Tin Lizzy were a big influence then on a lot of bands that came after them. Anyway, that's 1970 wrapped up. I'll see you in 1971. If you want more of this content, check out my YouTube account, Bobo's Final Fault. Until then, keep it final and keep it real.